Today we're checking out the new $1,300 Stream Sapphire turntable from Victrola. How was the Stream Sapphire? Well, I was impressed, but this turntable is not without its faults. Let's chat. When I heard that Victrola was releasing a turntable with a suggested retail price of nearly $1,300 US, my curiosity was piqued. I reached out and requested a review sample, and I got one. With this record player, Victrola offers a modern take on the traditional turntable, combining the worlds of analog and digital audio. It's going to sound like blasphemy to some, and others are going to wonder what took so long. For traditionalists, you can still connect the turntable to an amp or powered speakers via a line-level RCA output. But as the Stream Sapphire name implies, this semi-automatic belt drive is really geared to those who prefer to stream their music, even if it comes on 12-inch discs. You can connect the turntable to Sonos speakers or pretty much any network-enabled streaming device via Wi-Fi. It uses universal plug-and-play technology, outputting an up to 24-bit, 48 kilohertz lossless FLAC, according to Victrola. So to be clear, this turntable doesn't stream via Bluetooth, but rather Wi-Fi, which should give you a better sound experience. The Stream Sapphire's plinth is MDF wrapped with walnut wood veneer. It comes in just the one color option. The plinth or base is topped with a low-profile aluminum platter. At the front of the turntable, you have an illuminated control knob, which works as a function and volume knob. At the back, you have gold-plated RCA outs, the ground, an Ethernet socket, and the power input. Additional features include a brushless motor, electronic speed control, carbon fiber tone arm, and adjustable counterweight. It plays at 33 and 45 RPM, but not 78. Out of the box, the Stream Sapphire comes loaded with the popular Ortophone 2M Blue cartridge, a personal favorite of mine. The turntable also has some heft to it, weighing nearly 15 pounds. Victrola says the Stream Sapphire has a wow and flutter of 0.25, which is on the high side. Wow and flutter is a measurement of a record player's ability to hold a consistent speed. Victrola offers other wireless turntables, but this is their top-of-the-line model. Now that I've got this nerdy stuff out of the way, let's talk about how the Stream Sapphire performed. So I gotta admit, I went into this review with a bit of a personal bias. I associate Victrola with those cheap all-in-one plastic turntables, not high-performance audio. But the idea of checking out a premium turntable from Victrola also piqued my curiosity. So how did the Stream Sapphire perform, you may be asking? Let's dive into this. I tested the Stream Sapphire with my digital WIM amp, which I love, by the way, running into a pair of Marac speakers in our family room. Admittedly, the room doesn't have the best acoustics in the world, but neither do most family rooms. Out of the box, the turntable was relatively easy to set up. The cartridge came pre-mounted, but you will need a stylus force gauge to properly set the tracking force. I downloaded the Victrola app, and after a system update, it quickly found my WIM amp, so we were off to a good start. Aided by the excellent Ortophone 2M Blue cartridge, I found the Stream Sapphire to be quite detailed and musical. The technology is a big step up from traditional Bluetooth streaming. I threw a bunch of stuff at the Victrola, Bowie, Miles Davis, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and on and on. I don't profess to have the golden ears of an audiophile, but it was easy to forget the records I was listening to were being streamed wirelessly from the turntable to the amp. They sounded good. There may have been a bit of digital compression, but nothing that I found distracting. I did not miss the physical cables either, and was kind of grateful that I could stream wirelessly. I wasn't limited to where I had to place the turntable in proximity to the amp, and I could control the volume level through my phone. There was a slight lag between the music on the record and what I heard coming out of the speakers. The only time I really noticed this was when I lifted the tone arm up mid-song and the music continued playing for a few more seconds through the amp. It wasn't a big deal, and I got used to that pretty quick. In terms of the looks of this turntable, I kind of dig it. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it certainly doesn't look like anything else on the market. All this said, the Stream Sapphire wasn't without its faults. The streaming was fine when on standard streaming mode, which, according to the Victrola app, balances audio quality and connection quality. I got some digital interference and experienced audio dropouts when I switched to the prioritized audio quality mode. Victrola recommends using an Ethernet connection in this mode to avoid these issues. Also, I found the dust cover to be a bit impractical. There are no hinges, so you have to physically lift it off each time you want to play a record. And with large open ends, it doesn't really protect the turntable from much when covered. The Stream Sapphire also lacks adjustable VTA, which isn't the end of the world, but at this price point it would be nice. Speaking of price point, at $1,300, I also would have expected better speed stability reflected in the wow and flutter measurement. Again, Victrola says for this turntable, it's at around 0.25. And finally, not everyone is going to love the line level RCA output. As far as I can tell, the built-in preamp can't be turned off, which limits your ability to use an external preamp. Luckily, the built-in preamp sounds good and connected directly to an amp via the RCAs. However, this may be a moot point. I assume most people who buy this turntable will be using it to play their records wirelessly. So, what's my bottom line? The Stream Sapphire is a solid, innovative turntable aimed at those record collectors who have embraced digital technology, likely grew up with Victrola all-in-ones, and want to upgrade to something much better. As an old-school record collector myself, I was impressed with the functionality Victrola built into this deck, and the ease at which it connected to my WIM amp. The ability to stream my records via Wi-Fi is a luxury I had to experience to fully appreciate. And that, dear 33ers, is where this turntable really shines. The big question, of course, is it worth $1,300? I'll be cagey here, but it really depends. If you're going to use the Stream Sapphire as a traditional turntable plugged into an amp via RCA cables and ignore all the wireless technology, you will find better value elsewhere. But if you're keen to find a modern deck loaded with the latest wireless tech, the Stream Sapphire is worth checking out. And if the price tag is still too steep, other turntables in Victrola's Stream line may be a better match to your pocketbook. Bottom line, you gotta applaud Victrola for thinking outside the box. There really is no other competition in this category. I will be interested to see what this company comes up with next. Alright, 33ers, what are your early thoughts on this turntable? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I will be back again soon. Until then, keep on spinning.